she can't block that particular attack
Mm.
against the sharpshooter, but she can advise him to go and ask for money, which he does. She can give him the gifts of the ball that will guide him and the towel that will announce his identity. Because I'm sure she knows where the ball is going to bring him.
Yeah.
So you have this like it's almost like the personal feminine intuition is not able to do it, and so he has to go out wandering into the world, but his wandering by following the golden ball, which is sort of a stand-in for intuition. It's just going to go wherever it goes, but it takes care of him when he needs a bed. It turns into a bed. When he needs a bridge,
Mm.
it turns into a bridge. So
Mm.
it's very like it's an all-purpose item. It's very
Mm.
typical in fairy tales and stuff.
Mm.
But it ultimately leads him to what I see. Like if we're talking about the wife as like the feminine nature of the sharpshooter, then her mother would be sort of like feminine nature in general, like the feminine, like the goddess or something like that, the divine feminine,
Mm.
the essence of what it means to be feminine.
Mm.
And ties right into what you were saying before about her being like Diana or the goddess of nature or something like
Mm.
that. Like she's the mother of this magical woman. And so she sort of metaphorically, she's the source of the metaphorical magic that's in this guy that he's managed to contact
Mm.
by marrying this woman as a
Mm.
metaphor. He's able to sort of bring that into himself. So then he goes out and he finds the source of that, where like so his wife is described as this most beautiful, amazing woman. You can't even talk about her, only in tales. Couldn't even describe her. Everyone's madly in love with her. He follows his ball. He ends up at a castle. There's three beautiful women and their mother. Like she's held up as this very rare thing, and he ends up in a castle where there's like at least four of them because
Mm.
there's the three sisters and the wife.
Mm.
And then there's the sort of source, the mother that they all came from. So
Mm.
it's a very like the thing that comes to mind for me is like, the Grail myth or the Grail castle, but the Grail, that's not a feminine thing. The Grail is kind of a feminine thing, the Grail itself, but the Grail is wielded by a king, and so it's a different story. I think
Mm.
there's another one you did with your friend Lisette was the Water of Life. And I
Mm.
think there you have a hero that goes to a castle where there's some sort of font of something,
Yeah.
source of something ultimately healing.
Yeah.
Um, and and it's interesting because, well, I guess do you have anything to say to that? Because that's I've been talking for a bit.
Oh no, no, no. That yeah, that was all good. I was thinking just yeah, you could yeah, sort of intuition or the source of the feminine. I was also thinking he follows the ball for a long way. It's sort of like going deeper. You could say it's sort of going deeper and deeper into your thoughts in the right way, right concentration eventually, and maybe coming to some sort of insight, this
Hmm.
realization or something that could be a greater source for new ideas or something like that. Although for me, I think of it as his wife and the family is sort of yeah representing nature in general, and so there's a renewal, change, growth, which is of course yeah related to intuition anyway. But
Yeah. And as we have said, like meeting her has sort of started his process of growth. So
yeah,
that's another that ties into that as well.
yeah,
Um, and yet, despite all of that, um, this magical source of all the feminine nature in the world, or whatever you want to call it, uh, this goddess Diana, she doesn't know about the Shmat-Razum either. She's
yeah,
never heard of it.
right,
And she has power over all of these beasts and all of these fishes, all the creatures of the earth. None of them know. So
yeah,
it's almost,
yeah,
of course, but like almost all of them don't know, and so it heightens the mystery of it. Like if she's held up as this like, okay, the sharpshooter gets the magic introduced into his life, is sort of grown to the wife. They go through their trials. Something bad kind of happens. He overcomes that. He continues past a few other stages. He gets to this sort of the mother-in-law in this case representing like the source of the divine feminine, like I'm saying, and even that can't solve it. So then where do you go? You go to like the very lowest thing ever. You go to
Yeah.
the old frog who's seen 30 years of service. Who knows what kind of service a frog is doing, but the frog is doing some kind of a service. But the frog can't hop anywhere. And
Yeah.
like